Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Halos and Heroes back with another one. Now, tonight we are getting back into a requested song. This is Puma Blue, and the song is Hounds. Blind reaction as always, unless specified otherwise. So I don't know what to expect or what we're getting into, but I do have the lyrics up, so let's go. Good love beside me, a warm bed in which to sleep, quiet the voices inside that only of weakness speak. Those inner voices are definitely an issue. Learning how to manage thoughts, feelings, and behaviors in a positive and constructive way, it takes time, but it is possible. Feel like no angels, follow where I tread, made to make a home, but I'm lost in wilderness instead. So, I mean, none of us wants to be homeless. I didn't. It happened. But I do feel that, sometimes even if we do have a home that we've made for ourselves, we can kind of get lost in our complacency or, just our sometimes it's depression, sometimes it's anxiety that keeps us stuck. And I will find myself alone again, and all my fears become the dreams of yesterwhen. Awake in this hell space, I can barely hold my tongue. Try for my life to be someone who could never come undone. Feels like no angels follow where I tread, made to make a home, but it burns to the ground instead. So not a diagnosis. I'm trying to find a way to put this. Just my humble opinion. Find myself alone again. I used to think that way, and the problem with thinking that way is that it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. All my fears become the dreams of yesterwhen. So by feeding into our fears to feed into my fears like I used to, it pretty much secured a victory for them, because if I'm afraid to do something, if I'm afraid to act on something, then I don't. And if I don't, then it keeps me safe, but it also prevents me from stepping out of my comfort zone long enough to become a better person. Awake in this hell space, I can barely hold my tongue. So one of the things that I learned when I was in Bonham was respond, don't react. Barely holding your tongue. Now, for me, when someone says something to me, I immediately want to have a comeback. But if I stop and I go, okay, process, think it through, speak. I've given myself enough time and active listening that I am now in a better position to respond to the person in such a way that it doesn't automatically come out as a biting retort, which is something I was famous for. Try for my life to be someone who could never come undone. Now, never is part of the all or nothing thinking. And progress over perfection. We are never going to be perfect. There's no such thing. We all have flaws. We're all human. We all make mistakes. Mistakes are not failures. They're learning steps. They're ways to, okay, I made a mistake here, so here's what I can do next time. Oh, I failed. I'm miserable. This sucks. I quit. There's two different routes you can go with it. Feels like no angels, follow where I tread. Made to make a home, but it burns to the ground instead. So everything that this person is doing never seems to work out for them. They feel like all the effort that they ever put in never, see, there I go. All the effort that they put into the work that they do does not amount to what they expected from it. So if I try something, it doesn't work, or I make a mistake, then I bring it back, try it again a different way. If that doesn't work, I try it a different way. So I understand what he's saying, and I'm not tearing down the song in any way. I'm kind of countering his lyrics in a way, because I myself have felt this way. So I know what it's like to have this train of thought. But when I find myself thinking this way, I would like it if someone were to say, hey, maybe try it this way. Give me a little bit of advice. Say, hey, it's not working. Try something else. Encouragement rather than that self-doubt and that deprecating humor, or, just dark insight. Because if we continue to convince ourselves that things aren't going to work, things aren't going to work. So I have to say, I really like that saxophone solo there. Um, there was a band a long time ago called Morphine, and this kind of reminds me of that in a lot of ways. So the final verse, the final chorus is here. And I will find myself alone again, and all my fears become the dreams of other men. Again, if we don't take advantage of a situation, and I don't mean it like manipulate it or use it, I mean like if we get presented an opportunity and we don't take it, someone else will. Um, and I will find myself all alone again, and all my fears become the dreams of yesterwhen. Again, pretty self-explanatory. And I will find myself alone again, and all my fears become the dreams of yesterwhen. So I like the music. I like the singing. I like the saxophone because I played saxophone. So, I mean, it speaks to my heart on that one. And I get the point of the song. And this is like when a friend vents to you and they're struggling. I'm not trying to give advice or put myself, or tell him what to do. All that I can do when a friend comes to me in this situation is actively listen. If they want my advice or they want to know how I've worked through that situation and they ask me, then I'll tell them. So this is kind of unsolicited advice in this regard because where I understand where he's coming from and I understand what he's saying, if he were to have asked me at the end of this song, hey, that's how I feel right now, and what did you do to come out of this situation, or how did you come out of this situation, this reaction is what I would have told him. So let's go ahead and round this out. I hope you guys are enjoying. For the record, and I want to state this for the record, this was a very good song and a very good depiction of the struggle that we all go through when it comes to mental health. I am not knocking this song or speaking negatively of it. I know what it's like to feel hopeless and helpless and lost and scared and alone. That's why I tell you guys at the end of every video, you are not alone. Because I've been there. I don't want anyone else to feel that way. So when I dissect the lyrics and break them down, I'm giving my opinion. I'm not a professional. I'm not a therapist. I know how I felt when I had these same thoughts reflected in this song. And I know what I have to do now when those feelings, thoughts, and behaviors come up in order to counter them and prevent them from absolutely taking over and ruining my day. So, thank you for being here. Thank you for the suggestion. This has been Halos and Heroes. I love you. I care. And no, you're not alone.